In a small Indian town, where mornings arrived with the sound of temple bells, and evenings faded into the smell of wood smoke, lived an old man named Shankar. No one knew exactly how old he was. Some said 70, some said more. Age had stopped being a number for him long ago. It lived instead in his knees that cracked when he stood, in his fingers that refused to straighten fully, and in his slow, careful steps. Every morning, before the sun climbed high enough to burn the dust on the road, Shankar woke up. He slept on a thin mattress laid directly on the floor. The ceiling above him was stained from years of monsoon leaks. A small calendar hung on the wall. Months never crossed off properly. Time no longer hurried him. He sat up slowly, waiting for the pain to settle. Pain always arrived first, before hunger, before thoughts, before memories. Some mornings it was gentle, like a reminder. Other mornings it was sharp, like a warning. Shankar had learned not to fight it. Fighting only made it louder. He washed his face at the hand pump outside, the cold water waking him more than any prayer. Then he wrapped his faded cotton shawl around his shoulders, picked up his cloth bag of tools, and stepped into the narrow lane. The lane knew him well. Stray dogs lifted their heads as he passed. The tea seller at the corner nodded silently. Children on their way to school slowed down, some touching his feet respectfully, others smiling shyly. Shankar walked to his usual spot, under a wide peepal tree near the bus stop. That tree had watched him grow old. Under its shade, Shankar earned his living. He repaired umbrellas whose cloth had torn, steel trunks whose locks had rusted, cycle chains that refused to cooperate. People brought him things they were ready to throw away, and Shankar gave those things one more chance. "Baba, what will happen with this?" people often ask. "Let's just get a new one." Shankar would smile faintly. What is broken just needs a little time. Throwing it away is always the easiest thing to do. Once, long ago, Shankar had worked in a textile mill in the city. The machines were loud, the hours long, but his body was strong then. He dreamed simple dreams, saving enough to open a small shop, sending his son to college, growing old beside his wife. Life, however, had its own rhythm. The mill shut down suddenly. Compensation came late and vanished quickly. His wife fell ill during one harsh monsoon. Medicine cost more than he earned. She passed away quietly one night, holding his hand, asking him not to lose hope. Hope stayed. She did not. His son left for the city, promising to return once he was settled. At first, letters came regularly, then phone calls, then silence, slow, cruel silence that settled into the corners of the house. That silence hurt more than hunger ever did. For years, Shankar blamed pain for everything. Pain had bent his back. Pain had taken his wife. Pain had left him alone in a house that echoed at night. He believed pain was punishment, proof that life had been unfair to him. One summer afternoon, the heat was unbearable. The road shimmered like fire. Shankar sat under the peepal tree, trying to fix a broken cycle pedal. His hands trembled. Sweat blurred his vision. Every twist of the wrench sent pain shooting through his wrist. "Enough," he muttered. "Not today." As he tried to stand, his knee gave way. He fell back onto the ground, tools scattering. For a moment, he just sat there defeated. People passed by. Some looked, some didn't. Tears filled his eyes, not because of the fall, but because of what it meant. "I am finished," he thought. That was when a young schoolgirl stopped in front of him. Her bag was torn badly, books threatening to spill out. "Dadaji," she said hesitantly, "can you fix this? Tomorrow is exam." Shankar looked at his aching hands, at his scattered tools, at the road that felt hotter than ever. For a second, he wanted to say no. Then he remembered his wife's voice from long ago. "As long as your hands move, you still matter." He nodded. "Sit down," he said softly. He stitched the bag slowly, resting often, breathing through the pain. Each stitch was imperfect, but honest. When he finished, the bag held together. The girl smiled as if he had given her something precious. "Thank you, Dadaji." As she walked away, Shankar felt something change. The pain in his hands remained, but inside his chest, something felt lighter. That night, lying on his mattress, Shankar stared at the ceiling. For the first time in years, he questioned his own anger. What if pain had not come to break him? What if pain had come to slow him down, so he could notice small things, so he could help in quiet ways, so he could learn patience that youth never teaches? Days turned into months. Shankar continued working, but now he listened to his body. When pain spoke, he slowed down. When it warned him, he rested. He stopped treating pain like an enemy and began treating it like an old teacher, strict but honest. People started noticing him differently. They didn't rush him. They sat beside him. They talked. Tea sellers offered him chai without being asked. Travelers shared their worries while waiting for buses. One rainy evening, a young man sat next to him, soaked and frustrated. "Life is very hard," the man said. "I am tired." Shankar nodded, carefully fixing a broken umbrella. "Being tired doesn't mean you are on the wrong path," he said. "Sometimes it means that you are learning." The man listened quietly. Years passed like this. Shankar's earnings never grew big. His body grew weaker, but his life felt full in ways money could never provide. He slept peacefully. He spoke kindly. He carried no bitterness. One winter morning, the cold settled deep into his bones. Shankar tried to stand, but his legs refused. He did not panic. He waited. When neighbors noticed his absence, they came running. Someone brought medicine. Someone else cooked food. The same people whose broken things he had once repaired now helped him. As Shankar lay wrapped in blankets, listening to distant temple bells, tears rolled down his face, not from pain, but from understanding. Pain had taken much from him, but pain had also taught him how to live with grace. It had taught him dignity in earning, patience in waiting, and kindness in suffering. As evening fell, Shankar closed his eyes gently. Pain was never his enemy. It was life's way of shaping him into someone deeper, softer, and wiser. And long after his stall remained empty, people still remembered the old man under the peepal tree, who had very little, but understood life more than most.